When no one else responded, Earth's Deathworlders rose. HFY speaker. Talir Voss slammed her podium console. The border relay reports enemy signatures. Multiple dreadnoughts inbound on Epsilon Verge. Holographic delegates flickered across the galactic assembly chamber. 300 species from crystal lattices to gas-form envoys stared back. Talir's fins quivered under her diplomatic robes. She had triggered the emergency beacon herself. Now they would act. Speaker Krell of the Vorthi Coalition leaned forward. Distress signals, confirmed casualties, relay logs show civilian freighters scattering. Karun's banner flies on the lead ship. Talir projected the grainy feed. Jagged predator hulls slicing through the void. Plasma lances glowing hot. Murmurs rippled. Delegate Liran of the Solari Hive buzzed. Warlord Karun again? He probes weaknesses. A show of force. Not a probe, Talir snapped. He's burning the relay now. Sector comms are dark. The chamber feed cut to live. Karun's flagship unleashed a barrage. The relay station erupted in silent fireballs, debris scattering like shattered ice. Distressed traffic vanished, border worlds isolated. Immediate fleet dispatch, Talir demanded. Epsilon Verge holds. 10 million souls. Krell raised a claw. Assembly protocol requires consensus. Intelligence review first. Bio. Karun's coalition numbers 12 systems. We must assess escalation risks. Risk? Talir's voice rose. They're slaughtering now. Votes tallied in red hologlyphs. Nay dominated. Solari abstained. Vorthi deferred. The chamber dimmed. Session recessed for deliberation. Krell intoned. Response in 40 cycles. Talir's console pinged. Earth Central Command. She accepted the link. Commander Mara Velez's face filled the screen, sharp-eyed and unyielding. Human skin gleamed under harsh lights. No fins or frills to betray stress. Speaker Voss relays down. We're detecting civilian hulls adrift. Assembly vote? Pending. Talir said. 40 cycles. Velez nodded once. Understood. Earth Expeditionary launches unilateral rescue. Broadcast on all freaks. You can't assembly clearance. Rescue notice transmitting now. Velez cut the link. Talir's feeds lit up. Human voice boomed across open channels. This is Commander Velez, Earth Task Force Alpha. All Epsilon Verge assets. Hold position. Relief en route. Do not engage. No debate. No vote. 6 human frigates and carriers detached from patrol orbits. Engines flaring blue. Talir bolted from her podium. I demand observer status. Protocol 47. Liaison embed. Krell waved dismissal. Approved. But humans act rogue. Note your protest. She sprinted to the dock. Her shuttle latched onto Velez's flagship, Resolute Dawn, mid-acceleration. G-forces pinned Talir to her seat as the ship hit flank speed. Docking clamps thudded. A human marine in powered armor saluted her aboard. Speaker Voss. Quartermaster Patel will escort. Lieutenant Arun Patel waited in the corridor, toolkit slung over his shoulder. Stocky, scarred hands steady. Ma'am? Ridger Engineering. Commander Velez, Talir said. Patel nodded. This way. The Resolute Dawn thrummed with purpose. Crew moved like a single organism. Welding torches sparked. Loaders hauled munitions. No panic. No chatter. Velez met them on the bridge. Speaker. Strap in. ETA to Verge. 2 hours. Talir's sensors registered the human baseline. Elevated heart rates, but steady. Like jogging through a storm. Your assembly override risks war declaration. Velez tapped her console. Rescue first. Politics later. Drones report 3 freighters intact. Engines cold. Civilians aboard. Patel interjected. Ma'am, civilian hulls lack weapons. Karun's scouts will pick them off. Arm them. Velez ordered. Scrap bays. 2 hours. Patel's eyes lit. No argument. He vanished into the lifts. Talir followed to the hangar. Humans swarmed 3 captured freighters. Hulks from a scrap convoy, now tethered to Resolute. Patel directed teams with clipped commands. Mount those railgun coils on the freighter bows. Power taps from the main grid. Reroute reactors. A welder grunted. Coils are mismatched, LT. Flux variance 20%. Calibrate with scrap shielding. It'll hold. Patel hefted a plasma manifold himself, bolting it mid-air under 0G spin. Talir drifted closer. Her species built in sterile docks over weeks. These humans welded live circuits under fire drills. Sparks flew. A junior tech bled from a glove tear but kept fusing plates. How? Talir asked Patel. These holes are civilian grade, no military spines. Patel wiped sweat, grinning faintly. Deathworld improv, ma'am. Earth scrapes by on worse. Karawoon hits hard. We hit back harder. Scanners pinged. Enemy scouts. 3 corvettes. Closed on the freighters. Velez's voice crackled. Armed hulls green. Patel, launch protocols. Copy. Patel slapped the last panel. Freighters hot. Rails charged to 80%. Good enough. Talir gaped. Hours. Not cycles. Weapons bloomed on naked hulls. Railguns from gutted drones. Missile pods from carrier spares. Humans tested fire. Beams lanced vacuum, scoring hulls. Enemy corvettes twisted. Karoon's pilots broadcast surrender demands. The freighters answered with rail spit. Slugs punched through armor at relativistic speeds. First corvette vented atmosphere. Second fragmented. Patel monitored from his station. Third bugging out. Clean kill. Talir's fins stiffened. Her people would deliberate hull classifications first. These Deathworlders armed junk and fought. Velez patched through. Speaker, assembly feeds online. Your fellows vote observe again. Talir checked her link. Krell's chamber droned. No offensive action. Diplomatic overtures to Karoon. Another ping. Karoon's dreadnoughts accelerated toward the core worlds. Unopposed. Velez's eyes met Talir's. Rescue complete. Civilians docked. Next, target. Patel loaded fresh rails. Coalition vanguard, ma'am. We endure. Talir swallowed. Human restraint wasn't weakness. It was loading the gun. Resolute dawn burned toward the enemy fleet. Assembly lights flickered far behind. Explosions rocked the Resolute Dawn. Talir Voss clutched her harness as inertial dampers screamed. Alarms blared. Minefield ahead. Coalition laid. Velez's voice cut through static. Hot drop now. Evasive pattern Delta. Manual nav through the debris. Talir's display lit with horror. The corridor ahead glittered with proximity mines, a lethal web spanning light minutes. Her people avoided such kill zones. Waited for safe passage. Humans plunged in. Shuttles detached. Velez's led the pack, thrusters firing wild bursts. Mines detonated in chains. Plaza blooms shredded void. Debris spun like shrapnel storms. The shuttle bucked. Talir tracked it from the bridge feed, her fins quivering. Pilot, eyes on, Velez ordered. Thread the needle. Port 15, up 20. The human pilot gripped controls barehanded. No auto assist. Ship twisted through a gap no wider than its hull. A mine proximity pinged. 5 meters off. Velez didn't flinch. Steady. We're through the outer layer. Talir's translator lagged on the comm. Suicidal. Her assembly logs would flag it. Humans ignore survival protocols. Yet the shuttle emerged, scorched, but whole. Docked hard to a drifting outpost, Coalition forward base. Half-wrecked. Violez's team spilled out, mag boots clamping deck. Blaster fire greeted them. Coalition troops hunkered behind barricades. Humans advanced, methodical. Velez waved forward. Patel, seal that bulkhead. Breach on my mark. Lieutenant Arun Patel nodded, toolkit slung. He sprinted under fire, sparks from near misses glancing his suit. Talir zoomed her feed. Humans fought in this. No cover drones. No standoff orbitals, just bodies in the breach. Patel reached a severed coolant spine, gaping wound from prior hits, venting cryofluid and ice plumes. Enemy fire intensified. Slugs pinged his armor. He ignored it. Knelt amid the sleet, spines ruptured. Salvage from the wreck. Drone struts and conduit scraps. Velez covered him, rifle barking precise bursts. 2 enemies dropped. Make it quick, Lieutenant. Keth's fleet needs this outpost bridged. Patel worked fast, cut struts with a plasma torch. Flames licked his visor. He fused them into a frame, jury-rigged seals from spare plating. Enemy sniper tagged his shoulder, armor held, but red warning flashed. He sealed the bridge. Coolant flow stabilized. Outpost lights flickered back. Bridge hot, Patel reported, voice even. Pressure holding at 92%. Velez slapped his back. Good work. Push forward. Talier's recording auto-saved. Human engineer repairs critical infrastructure under direct fire. Casualty probability, 87%. Her people evacuated at 10%. These Deathworlders bridged spines like routine. Captain Surin Keth's signal patched in. His allied cruiser Stellar Lance, orbiting nearby. Velez, retreat window closing. Coalition dreadnoughts inbound. Pull back! Velez's helmet cam showed her grin amid the firefight. Negative, Captain. Scheduling repairs mid-combat. Patel's got the spine. Hold position. Our rails will cover your flank. Keth's voice spiked. Mid-combat? Your hulls can't. Watch. Velez keyed outpost controls. Rails online. Patel's fix powered them. Slugs lanced out, shredding incoming coalition fighters. Keth's cruiser stabilized, returned fire. Talier cross-checked scans. Humans turned a derelict into a gun platform. No retreat. Endurance as strategy. Marines dragged wounded back. Talier's feed switched to medbay cam. Auto-linked for her. Observation. Human medics triaged fast. Sergeant Reyes gut shot. Groaned on the slab. Doc injected nanites. Sealed the wound with biogel. Field ready in 5. Back to the line. Reyes nodded, sweat beading. Stood shaky, grabbed rifle. Thanks, Doc. OU. Her species healed cycles and sterile pods. These soldiers walked off tables. Another, burns across chest. Got synth skin spray, popped painkillers, rejoined the breach. Casualty rate, 14% KIA, 86% returned, combat effective. Velez's voice echoed. Speaker Voss, your logs catching this? Assemblies still observing? Talier's link buzzed. Krell chamber feed. Endless debate. Diplomatic freeze advised. No escalation. Coalition forces massed outside. Perun's dreadnought loomed on long range. Warlords' broadcasts sneered. Surrender the outpost. Panic sets in. Velez laughed. Patel, rails at 100%? Locked and loaded, ma'am. Fire erupted. Outpost guns hammered the dreadnought's shields. Keth's fleet sinked, lasers carving escorts. Humans held the corridor. Talier's fins ached from tension. She keyed her report. Human baseline exceeds galactic norms. Restraint precedes action. Coalition miscalculates. An explosion shook the resolute dawn. New alert. Karun's boarding pods inbound. Velez's team braced. Here they come, Patel said, welding a final barricade. Now, Tuesday maintenance. Talier gripped her console. The galaxy froze. Humans thawed the fight. Boarding pods slammed the outpost hull. Breaches hissed. Coalition raiders poured in. Scaled predators, claws gleaming. Energy lances charging. Velez's squad met them at the airlock. Flank left. Suppress. Blasters cracked. A raider lunged. Patel sidestepped, drove a vibrospike through its throat. Blood sprayed vacuum seals. He yanked it free, pivoted to the next. Talier's feed shook with recoil. Humans bled but pressed. Reyes, fresh from triage, dropped 2 with headshots. Reloading. Keth's voice crackled across channels. Velez, my lances are thinning. Karun's pushing a second wave. Retreat now. Repairs first. Velez snapped. Patel, coolant stable? Affirm. Shields recycling. Patel ducked fire. Patched a flickering console. Sparks flew. A raider clipped his leg suit, sealed the breach. He limped on, rerouting power. Rails surged hotter. Enemy commander barked orders. Karun's sub-lieutenant fangs bared. These soft skins break now. Velez vaulted a crate, rifle emptying into his chest. Not today. Raiders faltered. Humans cycled ammo seamless. Talier counted. 8 humans. 20 raiders down. Wounded dragged rear. Triaged. Returned. Medbay feed. Doc barked. Burns sealed. Arm up. Soldier nodded. Charged back. Talier's log. Overflowed. Resilience metric. Infinite. Karun's dreadnought fired. Macro cannon grazed the outpost. Hull groaned. Velez keyed all ship. Keth. Sink rails. Fire on my mark. Keth hesitated. Your power grid. Trust the checklist. Velez counted. Mark. Rails thundered. Slugs punched the dreadnought's flank. Shields cracked. Keth's lasers followed. Hull breaches bloomed. Karun's voice boomed retreat. Pods recalled. Velez exhaled. Corridor clear. Civi evac route open. Talir's display pinged. Assembly vote. Observe. Karun's core assault unchecked elsewhere. Patel wiped blood from his visor. Next target, ma'am? Levez eyed the stars. Core worlds. We endure. Talir swallowed dry. Aliens called it suicide. Humans called it standard ops. Her fins stilled. The galaxy would learn. Resolute dawn accelerated. Karun's shadow grew. Assembly silence deafened. Blaster bolts scorched the refugee Ark's bridge bulkhead. Speaker Talir Voss flinched as the feed locked onto Warlord Karun's hulking form. His predator jaws parted in a recorded snarl. Galactic Assembly cowards, surrender the border systems or watch your herds die. Talir's fins quivered. She jabbed transmit. The footage beamed straight to the assembly core, live, unfiltered. Karun's raiders dragged forward a line of hostages, avian traders, insectoid merchants, a cluster of wide-eyed pups from the fringe worlds. Claws flashed, 3 heads rolled. Gasps echoed in Talir's headset from distant chambers. The assembly feed exploded. Diplomats shrieked for ceasefires. Votes piled for negotiation. Karun laughed, blood dripping from his maw. See? Panic feeds my fleets. Yield, or every arc burns. Talir's console pinged. Assembly quorum in chaos. Immediate withdrawal recommended. Do not engage. Her voice channel crackled. Commander Velez, assembly orders retreat. Karun's dreadnought outguns us 3-1. Velez's face filled a split screen, eyes steady behind her visor. No helmet yet. Just the expeditionary commander in her jumpsuit. Checklist hollow flickering beside her. Negative speaker, diverting to intercept. Patel, prep breach teams. Lieutenant Arun Patel nodded from engineering bay cam. Grease smeared his faceplate. He hefted a plasma torch, suit already sealed. Vents mapped, ma'am. Marines geared. Talir's gills flared. This defies protocol. The Ark carries 30,000 civilians. Karun's boarding parties will slaughter. Checklist says intercept first. Velez cut the channel. Resolute dawn lurched, engines flaring hot. Tactical plot shifted. Straight into the kill box. Assembly chatter drowned Talir's bridge link. Insanity. Humans charge the predator. The Zyran delegate wailed. Pull them back! Talir gripped her console. The refugee arc swelled on main viewer. Karun's raiders swarmed its outer hull, cutting airlocks. Pods detached from his dreadnought. More boarding claws extended. Velez's Marines launched 8 drop pods, silent arrows toward the Ark's underbelly. Patel led the breach. Feed switched to his helmet cam. Contact in 3, torch hot. Plasma chewed the vent stack, a narrow exhaust chute, laced with rad shielding. No room for power armor. Marines stripped to skin suits, rifles slung tight. First Marine squeezed in. Corporalina Ruiz elbow deep in conduit. Clear. They crawled, single file, breaching toxic fumes. Alarms wailed inside the Ark. Raider patrols clanked overhead. Talir's secondary feed showed the assembly floor. Delegates fleeing seats, holograms flickering in panic. Evacuate the sector. Humans provoke genocide. Karun's voice boomed arc-wide. Soft skins incoming, let them choke on vents. His sub-lieutenants fanned out, sealing decks. The Tel's cam bucked. Breach point. Torch sliced deck plating. They dropped into a maintenance bay. Raiders whirled, claws drawn. 8 humans versus 12 predators. Ruiz fired first. Bolt punched a raider's chest plate. It roared. Charging. Patel swung his rifle butt. Cracked knee joints. Flank left. Marines flowed like water. Short bursts, no waste. A raider clawed Ruiz's arm. Suit foam sealed the gash. She rolled, emptied her mag into its throat. Talir counted bodies. 5 raiders down. Humans reloaded seamless, dragging wounded behind crates. Patel patched a flickering bulkhead panel, restored lights, jammed enemy doors. Compartment secure. Push. Assembly feed. Total meltdown. They're inside. Karun will vent the ship. Velez's voice cut through. Keth, cover fire. Lasers on those pods. Captain Surin Keth's allied cruiser obliged. Beams lanced out, vaporized 3 raider shuttles. Your humans draw all heat. Endure it. Velez vaulted into her own pod, rifle ready. Her team hit the Ark's mid-deck vents. Patel's squad cleared 3 bays. Raiders panicked, fangs gnashing air. One hurled a grenade. Patel kicked it back. Explosion rocked the feed. He coughed blood. Visor cracked. Stable. Press on. Talir's log auto-tagged. Human baseline. Breach under rat exposure. Fight wounded. Repurpose enemy gear. A downed Raider's blaster became Ruiz's sidearm. They stacked bodies for cover. Advanced. Karun's bridge feed flickered. Hostages cowered as alarms screamed. Intruders in vents? Flush them! Gas hissed through ducts. Patel's team sealed their suits. Hold breathers. They pushed, rifles barking. 8 humans now faced 20 Raiders in the core corridor. Bolts flew. A Marine took shrapnel to the leg, dragged back, tourniquet slapped on. Doc's voice patched in. Seal it. You're up! He charged back, limping fire. Talir's fins locked rigid. Assembly vote flashed. Abstain, 60%. No one moved. Karun's claws flexed on camera. Your hesitation kills them. Levez's breach hit main engineering. Per chem, Raiders barricaded the hostage deck hatch. Patel, sink demo charges. Affirm. He jury-rigged Raider grenades into a breaching pack. Boom. Hatch vaporized. Marines poured through. Karun whirled on his bridge. Impossible! They endure gas, fire. Velez led the charge. Rifle cracked. Sub-lieutenant's head snapped back. Hostages secure. Karun, you're boarded. Raiders swarmed. Claws raked Velez's pauldron. Sparks flew. She headbutted the beast, drove her knife home. Patel covered, torch melting a claw arm. Marines cycled ammo flawless. Wounded triaged mid-fight. Burns sealed, limbs braced, back in line. Talir's console overflowed. 8 humans, 40 Raiders cleared. Bodies piled. Karun retreated to his shuttle bay. Barking retreat. Pods launched. Keth's lasers picked them clean. Velez knelt by a hostage pup. Visor up. Calm voice. Arc secure. Evac routes open. Assembly feed went silent. Then whispers. They did it. With what? Talir transmitted final log. Resilience. Not metric. Fact. Her voice steady for first time. Commander. Core assault inbound. Karun flees to rally. Velez stood blood-streaked but unbowed. Patel. Patch the arc. Keth. Fleet sink. We hit his dreadnought next. Patel wiped gore from his torch. Charges prepped, ma'am. Keth's tone shifted. No hesitation. Adjusting for human timelines. Firing solutions locked. Talir watched Resolute Dawn pivot. Karun's dreadnought loomed. Macro cannons charging. Assembly panic faded to awe. Humans didn't blink. They endured. They answered. The galaxy's freeze cracked. Humans moved first. Captain Serinketh gripped his command rail as Vanguard's pride shuddered under evasive fire. Karun's dreadnought filled the viewport, a jagged behemoth spitting macro cannon salvos. Human frigates danced ahead, drawing heat. Commander Velez, Keth transmitted, voice steady. Standard fleet doctrine. Form a defensive shell. Layered fields absorb kinetic impacts.
We wait for assembly reinforcements. Velez's reply crackled instant.
Negative, Captain. Too slow. Karun rallies coalition pickets in 12 minutes. We punch now. Keth's crest flared. Humans rejected the playbook. His crews trained years for that shell. Energy lattices tuned to bleed momentum from railgun storms. Velez treated it like yesterday's ration pack. Resolute Dawn leads. She ordered. Patel, decoys now. Keth, sink your wing. High J burn on my mark. Lieutenant Patel's voice followed, calm as hull plating. Decoys spinning up, ma'am. Cargo mass repurposed. 2 tons kinetic ballast per pod. Keth patched into Resolute Dawn's external feed. Patel worked in the ventral bay, armored in a void suit scarred by boarding gore. He welded cargo crates, spare alloy ingots, frozen protein slabs, into tumbling spheres. Magnets hurled them from launch tubes. No fancy drones, just mass on vectors. Enemy salvos lanced in. Azure plasma lances from Karun's escorts. Patel's decoys bloomed across the grid, 50 crude balls mimicking ship signatures. Coalition gunners bit. Lances veered, slammed into their own formation. A picket corvette erupted, debris chaining into two more. Keth's sensors screamed collision alerts. Velez, that's chaos math, she cut in. Their fire control chases ghosts. Push the flank, Keth signaled his squadron. Pride accelerated, but his pilots grayed out at 4G. Medbays pinged blackout alerts. Humans held course. Resolute Dawn pulled 7G steady. No chatter of distress. Velez Marines braced in racks, faces slack but eyes open. They endured like it was station spin. Karun's dreadnought loomed closer. Its macro cannons cycled. City killers. Each shot warping armor at 5 clicks. Coalition doctrine. Overwhelm with volume. Force surrender. Panic the committees. Not humans. High G pursuit, Velez barked. Keth, match vector or peel off. Keth swallowed bile. His ship topped at 5G bursts. He punched throttles. Crews slumped in harnesses. Autopilots compensating. Pride lagged half a length. Human drives hummed hotter. No safeties tripping. Patel's decoys rerouted another salvo. Enemy rounds plowed their own corvettes, hulls crumpling like foil. Karun's bridge feed leaked via hacked buoys. The warlord roared, claws shattering a console. Primitives. Cease fire. Velez ignored it. Dawn, closing dorsal arc. Patel, boarding prep. Affirm, Patel replied. He sealed his torch, hefted a charge pack twice his mass, zeroed into a launch tube like routine drill. Keth's wing closed the noose. His lasers carved escort engines, but humans outpaced. Resolute Dawn braked hard into the dreadnought's blind spot. 9G deceleration. Keth's stomach flipped. 2 pilots flatlined before stims kicked. Boarding pod spat from Dawn. Patel's hit first. Mag clamps biting hull. Breaches bloomed. Marines poured through, rifles spitting tungsten. Keth vectored Pride for cover. Velez, you're inside their net. We calculate the net, she transmitted. A human laugh edged her tone. No brag, just fact. Coalition counterfire raked space. Keth's point defense whirred, swatting drones. His allied crews revived groggy, vomiting in helmets. Humans fought seamless. Feed showed Patel in corridors. Torch sliced a bulkhead trap, rerouted steam vents to scald ambushers. Blevez led point, shotgun buckling armor plates. Patel, arc protocols bypassed. Bridge in 30. Karun's retreat pods launched frantic. Keth's lasers shredded them mid-void. No mercy today. Then alarms wailed. Assembly blockade ahead. Emergency cordon. Talir Voss's voice broke in, sharp. Captain Keth. Resolute Dawn. Speaker Talir. Docking denied. Containment protocols. Vilez overrode. Speaker. Core breach imminent. Karun's rally hits your yards in hours. Clear bays or we ram. Talir hesitated. Keth watched her feed. The diplomat's frills quivered on Assembly Harmony's bridge. Risk-averse Voss who mistook human pauses for frailty. Now she saw. Emergency rights granted. Talir transmitted. 1 cycle only. Refuel protocol standard. Resolute Dawn slammed into berth. Keth docked adjacent. Crews staggering out. Humans moved like clockwork. He joined the Baywatch. Patel hauled charges aboard first, void suit steaming. Loaders swapped ammo pallets. Railgun slugs stacked in minutes. Fuel drones cycled at triple rate. Humans bypassed regulators, venting excess heat through hull sprayers. Velez strode the deck, blood flaking her pauldron. She checked manifests on a wrist pad. Patel, decoy fab next batch. Keth, your lasers need slugs? Keth blinked, his armorer nodded numb. We integrate human rounds? Do it. Velez waved techs over. They jury-rigged feed lines in under 5. Talir arrived in person, flanked by guards. Her eyes widened at the blur. Marines reloaded rifles mid-conversation. Wounded got field patches. Burn gel smeared, bones splinted. Back to stacks. No medevac queues. 1 cycle. Humans shaved it to 40 minutes. Speaker, Velez said. Visor up. Sweat beaded her brow, but stance rock steady. Yard secure? Talir nodded, voice hushed. Karuan's vanguard scatters. Your efficiency precedes you. Not efficiency. Velez corrected. Baseline. We plan for the freeze. Keth felt it click. Aliens built for golden ages. Committees. Shells. Latencies, humans calculated the cold. Scrap to weapons, G-forces to edges, cycles to heartbeats. Alarms blared anew. Karun's dreadnought pinged on scopes, rallied, macro cannons hot. Pods, undocked, seamless. Velez boarded last. Keth sink, Talier. Feed locked. We end this. Keth strapped in, signaling his crews. They straightened, stims fading but resolve sharp. Humans didn't outgun. They outthought the void. Resolute Dawn led the launch. Dreadnought salvos incoming. Patel's voice. Decoys hot. Keth gripped rail. This time, he matched their burn. Dreadnought cannons flashed. Plasma bolts scorched past Resolute Dawn's hull. Keth yanked the thrust yoke. His frigate, Stellar Lance, banked hard. Decoys erupted from the human corvette's bays, cheap drones mimicking heat signatures. They drew fire. 3 slugs vaporized in the void. Sink confirmed. Velez crackled over comms. Her voice cut through static like a laser. Patel, hold the yards. High-rad sector's yours. Keth, we anvil them. Talir, lock those feeds. Keth's navigator blinked scales in shock. Captain, humans in rad zones, their baselines fry at half our limit. Orders, Keth snapped. He punched the fleet net. His allied cruisers formed up, lasers priming. Karun's dreadnought loomed. Iron Fang, predator hull scarred from a dozen campaigns. It mass-jumped reinforcements. 10 destroyers blinked in, targeting the shipyard gantries. Alarms screamed. Shipyard scopes lit red. Enemy boarding torpedoes punched through outer docks. Breaches vented Admo. Assembly drones scattered, their shells cracking under stress. Keth gripped his console. All ships. Delaying pattern. Draw fire from yards. His crews complied. No hesitation. But humans. They charged the blaze. On split screen, Lieutenant Patel's team swarmed a ruptured gantry. Marines in patched vac suits dashed through radiation storms, counters spiking lethal for xenophysiology. Patel knelt at a fist-sized hull tier. Bombardment shook the frame. He slapped rapid-set foam from his pack. Gray ooze expanded, hardening in seconds. Sealed. Power conduit down, Patel reported, calm as assembly T. Shrapnel pinged his visor. He yanked exposed cables, splicing with a multi-tool. Sparks flew. His suit rad alerts blared orange, then red. Humans ignored it. One Marine coughed blood, splinted his own arm, kept welding. Keth's armorer hissed. They breathe that? Our crews evacuated yellow. Watch, Keth said. He zoomed the feed. Patel stood. Lights flickered on across the sector. Turrets spun up. Slugs feeding from scrap hoppers. Enemy boarders. Karun's shock troops, hulking reptilians, poured through adjacent vents. Marines met them, rifles barked. No fancy beams, just kinetic rounds punching carapace. Velez's voice overlaid. Patel, next breach. Foam double load. Keth, your lasers on their flanks. Slug the dreadnought. Keth nodded to his gunner. Integrate human rounds. Fire. Stellar Lance bucked. Hybrid salvos hammered Iron Fang's shields. Alien precision plus human mass. Ripples cracked the field. A shipyard shuddered again. Karun's destroyers pressed. One gantry buckled. Frames glowing under radburst from a cracked reactor. Assembly techs fled in pods, their liaison Talir coordinating from a bunker. Her image popped on Keth's panel, frills quivering. Captain Keth. The yards. Humans hold. Keth cut in. Trust the checklist. Patel's team hit the reactor deck. Radiation fogged the cam. Counters off scale. Humans moved anyway. Patel foam sealed a plasma vent, then rigged bypasses from hull plates. Enemy troops breached nearby. A Marine took a claw to the chest, sprayed burn gel, fired back, dropped 2. Back to stacks. Keth's scopes tracked Karun's play. The warlord committed reserves. No panic from yard crews, expected surrender. Instead, turrets raked his borders. Humans turned scrap loaders into gun platforms, Patel's welds holding. Intercepted comms buzzed. Karun's growl, their industry cowers. Pry it intact, no Deathworlder filth here. Keth smirked. Karun jumped blind. Shipyard logs showed humans prepositioned, already in blast zones before the mass jump. Velez is delaying defense. Not retreat, endurance. Stellar Lance, commit full, Keth ordered. His fleet slammed into the destroyer screen. Lasers carved hulls. Human pods zipped through the melee, Marines boarding enemy flanks. Resolute Dawn danced close. Velez's corvette took a grazing hit. Hull sparked. No evasion. She pressed, missiles away. Patel. Power restored. Rad shields nominal. Borders contained. Talir's voice joined. Speaker Voss. Yields at 87%. Humans, they baseline this? Affirm, Velez replied. Oh. Freeze protocol. We plan cold. Keth felt the shift. His crews leaned in, matching human burn. One destroyer cracked, venting troops. Karun's dreadnought pivoted. Macro cannons charging for yard kill shot. Patel, evac minimal, Velez said. Hold radcore. Keth. Anvil tight. Keth's frigate absorbed a bolt. Shields flared 20%. Pain lanced his scales from feedback. Humans took worse. Patel's suit smoked, but he jury-rigged a turret from foam molds and power cells. It spat slugs into the dreadnought's bay. Enemy borders faltered. Humans pursued. Endurance baseline. Keth targeted the dreadnought's jump drive. Gunners, overload. Slugs punched through weakening shields. Explosions bloomed. Karun's comms snarled. Panic them. Committees fold. No fold. Shipyard turrets. Patel's work. Raked the beast. Resolute Dawn closed. Point defense shredding torpedoes. Velez. Keth. Sink breach teams. We take the bridge. Keth signaled descent. His Marines prepped grapples. Stims optional. Resolve iron. Humans didn't outgun dreadnoughts. They outlasted them. Iron Fang, listed. Secondary blasts rippled. Karun jumped partial. Half his fleet smeared in warp shear. Patel, core stable. Casualties 12%. Back online. Talir, assembly yields full control. Harun routed. Keth exhaled. Screens cleared. Shipyard stood. Gantry scarred but spinning. Humans emerged from rad zones. Suits shedding warnings like sweat. Patel high-fived a Marine. Foam gun slung. Velez's face appeared. Visor scorched. Debrief in 10. Keth, your integration saved flanks. He nodded. Your baseline saved the yards. Alarms quieted, but scopes pinged distant. Karun rallied shadows. Coalition stragglers massing. Velez, next jump incoming. Patel, prep scrap slugs. Keth, we endure. Keth, strap tighter. Humans planned the freeze. Now the galaxy followed. Hull breaches sealed. Power hummed. Stellar Lance aligned for burn. Karun's shadow fleet blinked signatures. Bigger this time. Patel chuckled over open calm. Rad zones prepped. Who's first? Keth matched their grin. No anger. Just resolve. The void chilled. Humans warmed it with fire. Dreadnought remnants charged. Decoys hot. Anvil held. Talir Voss jabbed the transmit key. Her frigate's comms blared the assembly's seal across the fleet net. Commander Velez, full operational control authorized. Retroactive from initial incursion. Karun's coalition violates all edicts. Velez's image flickered on Talir's bridge feed. Her face etched in red emergency glow. Hull breaches vented plasma behind her. Logged. Speaker. Appreciated. Patel, scrap slugs primed? Affirm, ma'am. Yield optimized for gravity shear. Patel's voice hummed steady over open channel, punctuated by weld sparks. Talir's mandibles clicked. Too late. The assembly's committees had bickered for cycles while humans held the shipyard alone. Velez hadn't waited. Now her battered wedge, Stellar Lance, Resolute Dawn, allied stragglers, formed anvil against Karun's rallying shadow fleet. Distant signatures massed, 30-plus hulls, dreadnought cores pulsing warp charge. Velez's eyes flicked to tactical. Keth, feint vector Bravo, sell the retreat hard, make it look desperate. Captain Keth's sleek cruiser acknowledged from the flank. Vectors locked, decoys deploying. Talir gripped her console. Retreat? Karun's predator instincts would pounce, but Velez's tone carried no panic. Just checkboxes ticked. Enemy signatures surged. Karun's Iron Fang remnants led, flanked by coalition raiders, scaled behemoths from the rim hives. Jump drives hot. Velez punched thrust. Her wedge peeled back, engines flaring blue exhaustion. Stellar Lance shed velocity. dipping toward the Narrows, a knife-thin gravity well corridor between asteroid shoals and a gas giant's pull. Debris choked it, shipyard wreckage from Patel's earlier traps. Karun took the bait. His shadow fleet lunged, Iron Fang spearing ahead, point defense lasers stitched void, shredding human decoys. They'd break. Karun's growl echoed on hacked channels. "Encircle and rend!" Talir's sensors screamed contacts. Her frigate trailed the human wedge, liaison protocols chaining her to Velez's flag. Panic clawed her vents. The Narrows amplified gravity. Jump drives failed there, easy killbox for Karun's massed guns. Humans dove straight in. Velez's voice cut calm. "Patel, you're green. Hold for my mark." Commander Mara Velez braced in Stellar Lance's command cradle. Alarms wailed hull stress. The Narrows crushed her ship. Deceleration pinned Marines to bulkheads. She ignored Talir's delayed seal. Logistics first. Bait set, trap primed. Tempo hers. "Status, Lieutenant?" Velez snapped. Patel floated amid engineering bays. Mag boots clamped to a girder. His suit's arms whirred, linking chained debris slugs. Shipyard scrap packed with rad cores and fusion triggers. "Slugs chained, ma'am. Det cords live." Enemy in corridor, 80% committed. Velez scanned feeds. Karun's fleet poured in. Iron Fang midway, Raiders bottlenecking behind. Gravity warped their formations, jump geometries fracturing. Keth wedged tight, breach teams on standby. Levez feathered thrusters, Stellar Lance listed port, selling panic, fake power flickers, decoy flares. Keth's cruiser knifed parallel, wedge, solid. Awaiting breach window. Velez's fingers danced console. "Patel, Mark." Lieutenant Arun Patel thumbed the detonator. Calm flooded his veins. Earth baseline, no stims needed. Scrap slugs ignited. First chain blew, wreckage bloomed fireballs, hurling kilometer shards into the corridor. Gravity yanked them inward, a cascading avalanche. Enemy raiders crumpled, hulls buckled, drives shorted. Iron Fang twisted, evasive rolls too slow. Debris field thickened, jump lanes collapsing under mass. Karun's flag shuddered, secondary blasts venting crew decks. Patel patched through, geometry zeroed. No jumps out. Core stable here. Casualties minimal. Velez grinned faint. "Keth, go!" Captain Surin Keth surged his allied wedge forward. His cruiser's drives roared, Marines grapnelling across to Stellar Lance. Humans integrated seamless. No language glitches, just clipped affirmatives. Flanks pinned. Keth barked. His gunners raked stragglers. Coalition raiders spun helpless, trapped in the debris maelstrom. Iron Fang loomed ahead, guns swiveling desperate. Velez vectored in. Breach teams, sync with Keth. Bridge priority. Keth's Marines hit airlocks first. Foam guns sealing breaches, radhard suits shrugging gamma bursts. His own troops followed, plasma lances primed. Humans led. His people covered fire arcs. Explosives breached Iron Fang's spine. Smoke choked corridors. Karun's guards, hulking rim predators, charged, claws rending armor. A human Marine took a rake across the chest plate. He fired point blank, shotgun shredding chitin. "Push!" Keth's squad laid suppressors. Human endurance shone. They fought through rad zones his troops avoided, suits venting heat like breath. Velez's voice bridged comms. "Patel, remote slugs on flag approach." "Clear our path." Patel obliged. Outer debris parted precise. Tunnel carved for the wedge. Keth stormed the bridge ramp. Doors blew. Karun whirled, fangs bared. Command throne ringed by elites. "You primitives dare." Karun lunged. Keth sidestepped, lance coring a guard. Humans swarmed past, grapples pinning elites. One Deathworlder, Patel's engineer squad, tackled Karun mid-leap, hydraulic arms locking jaws. Velez materialized on feed. "Secure him. Intel first." Keth slapped restraints. Karun snarled, but his fleet signatures winked out, wrecked or fleeing piecemeal. Talir Voss watched from her frigate, jaws agape. Levez's wedge emerged from the Narrows, Iron Fang trailing captive. Assembly codes scrolled ignored on her console. Humans hadn't needed them. Her bridge crew chittered awe. They baited the predator, slamming the door. Velez's face reappeared. "Speaker, thanks for the formality. Debrief coordinates uploading." "Karun's coalition fractures. Next push ours. Talir nodded slow. Restraint wasn't weakness. It was checklist. Humans acted first. Endured longest. Keth strapped into his command chair, iron fangs, bridge feeds patching through. Karun glowered in custody, plotting glares. Marines high-fived, suits scorched but whole. Patel's voice chuckled open. Scrap yields tripled. Rad zones clear. Who's next? Velez cut in. Assembly hesitates no more. Keth integrate full. Talir broadcast our tempo. Sensors pinged anew. Coalition reinforcements. Deeper rim signatures. Bigger shadows massing beyond the well. Keth exhaled steel. Humans planned the freeze. Now they thawed the galaxy with fire. Velez punched jump-a-line. Patel, chain the outer lanes. We bait again. Debris hummed live. Kaduun's shadows closed. Anvil held firm. Talir transmitted wide. Galactic Assembly notes human command. All assets converge. Too late again, but this time she followed. Stellar lance burned hot. Wedge reformed. Void chilled deeper. Warp storms brewing rimward. Patel sealed the last slug. Ready, ma'am. Endurance infinite. Velez's eyes locked tactical. Karuun's final rally blinked signatures. 40 hulls, dreadnought heavy. Keth, your wedge leads the hammer. We endure the anvil. Keth signaled ascent. Marines prepped, resolve ironclad. Enemy charged. Decoys flared. The Narrows echoed ghosts of the fallen. Humans slammed the door, wider this time. Marines blew the flagship's hull breach. Commander Mara Velez led the charge. Magboots clamping deck plates slick with enemy coolant. Alarms wailed. Karun's guards fired plasma lances, wild bursts that scorched bulkheads. Velez rolled left, her rifle barking precise bursts. 2 Xeno fell, chitin armor cracking. Patel, seal the breach. Flank left. Lieutenant Arun Patel nodded once, calm as he welded scrap plates over the hole. His engineering drone hummed, patching atmosphere. Breach secure, ma'am. Vents rigged. Gas in 30. Velez pushed forward. Corridors narrowed. Red emergency lights pulsing. Karun's voice boomed over internal comms. Surrender your primitives. The coalition endures. She smirked, tapping her wrist unit. Captured comms logs played. Karun's own orders, promising border worlds to his allies for harvesting. Proof of genocide plots routed through shadow channels. Play it loud, Patel. The drone amplified the logs. Karun's gravelly threats echoed ship-wide. His guards hesitated, mandibles clicking doubt. Velez's team surged. She drop-kicked a defender, boot cracking its knee joint. Rifle butt to the helm. Down. Bridge in 5. Non-lethal if they drop arms. They hit the command deck. Karun loomed in his throne. 4 arms raised in predator's snarl. Flanked by aides, he snarled, Deathworlder filth. You breach nothing. Velez leveled her rifle. Marines fanned out, covering consoles. Comms proofs broadcasting, warlord. Your coalition's eating itself. Surrender, or we vent the bridge. Patel patched the logs to every coalition frequency. Karun's eyes widened at the betrayal voices, his lieutenants haggling spoils. He slumped. Terms, full, stand down. All ships powered down drives. Humans coordinate relief. Velez's voice stayed flat, checklist mode. Karun keyed his console. 40 hulls blinked offline across the Narrows. Surrender codes beamed wide. Marines cuffed him. Velez scanned the bridge feeds. Debris fields cleared. Iron Fang held the line. Patel, rig tow cables. We're claiming this beast. Speaker Talir Voss watched from Stellar Lance's observation deck. Her frills quivered as Velez's breach played live on split screens. Human Marines moved like liquid fury, enduring bursts that would shred Cathari shields. Karun's flagship went dark. Talir's claws tapped transmit. Assembly channels open. Battle record uploading now. She keyed the wide broadcast. Holofeeds captured it all. Humans chaining outer lanes with Patel's scrap-forged mines, enduring warp storms that froze Cathari drives solid. Velez's anvil held while Keth's wedge hammered. Coalition dreadnoughts cracked like ice. Galactic Assembly, Talir declared, voice steady for the first time. Human command secured the Narrows. Your delay, 3 cycles of hesitation, cost 12 systems, operational failure noted. Converge assets immediately. Under-Earth protocols. Replies flooded in. Assembly drones buzzed outrage. Risk assessment pending. One droned. Talir cut them. Assessment complete. Humans act first. Follow or observe. Her frills flushed respect. Restraint wasn't weakness. It was baseline. Captain Serenketh gripped his armrest on Iron Fang's bridge. Karun's surrender pinged green. Human Marines dragged the warlord past viewports, his glares ignored. Keth opened secure line to Velez. Flagship secured. Your borders make poetry of chaos. Velez's face filled the hollow. Sweat streaked but eyes clear. Poetry's for after, Captain. Joint Defense Compact. Sign now. Share your shield protocols. We integrate full. Keth pulled the digital slate. Earth's compact scrolled. Mutual aid. No vetoes on human ops. He added Cathari warp jump relays. Tech that bent storms. Signed. Protocols shared. Your endurance sets the tempo. Done. Velez nodded. Patel reports rad zones clear. Relief convoys launch in 10. Food. Medpacks. Engineers. Border worlds first. Keth's bridge crew leaned in. A junior officer whistled. They fight storms, we evade. Build in fire, we flee. Learn it, Keth said. Plan around it. He patched Talir. Speaker, compact ratified. Assembly watches, we lead. Talir's feed showed her nodding. Broadcast complete. Fleets inbound. Velez cut her line. Patel, convoy manifests. Protein bars, hydro units, full med scans. Launch before speeches. She eyed the tactical. Coalition remnants scattered rimward. But assembly signatures massed, hundreds of hulls, late to the kill. Patel chuckled over comms. Convoys spooled, ma'am. Scrap yields record highs. Who's next? Relief first. Then rimbait. Velez punched coordinates. Her shuttle detached from Karun's flagship. Marines piling in. Stellar Lance and Iron Fang saluted with running lights. Convoys streaked past. Human dropships shrugging micro-debris that pinged alien hulls. Keth watched them go. She leaves before glory. Glory's checklists. The Marine relayed, grinning. Assembly fleets warped in. Drones hailed. Galactic Authority assumes command. Talir transmitted Velez's logs. Authority earned in the Narrows. Humans finished it. Join the mop-up. Keth powered his wedge forward. Human convoys dotted the black already planetside. Border worlds lit with landing beacons, survivors waving from ruins. Assembly ships hung back, scans confirming, rads dropping, hulls rebuilding. Velez's voice patched fleet-wide, casual. Relief locked. Patel, chain the rim. Keth, your jumps lead. Talir, keep 'em honest. Warp storms brewed deeper. Coalition shadows flickered. Final rally. Keth signaled. Hammer forms. Anvil endures. Marines prepped. Humans high-fived scorched suits. Talir's broadcast looped. Proof of the freeze. The thaw. The fire. Assembly drones finally moved. Too late. Galaxy arrived to cheers from aid zones. Humans waved from the dirt, tools in hand. Job done. Velez's shuttle jumped rimward. Sensors pinged bigger shadows. Patel? Scrap ready, ma'am. Endurance infinite. Debris hummed live. Anvil held. Wider. Karun glowered in his cell, plotting glares at empty space. Marines laughed outside. Coalition broke. Humans built. Talir sealed her transmit. Frills straight, she followed now. Keth locked jumps. For the compact, Iron Fang burned hot. Wedge reformed. Void chilled. But humans thought it first. Velez checked her list. Check. Check. Next. Patel's drones whirred. Bait set. They bite. Enemy signatures closed. 40 more? No. 60. Dreadnought heavy. Velez smiled thin. Keth. Hammer. We endure. Charge hit. Decoys flared brighter. Narrows echoed wider ghosts. Humans slammed the door. Galaxy watched the lock click. Relief convoys hummed planetside. Survivors ate human rations, marveling at the taste. They came first. One Xeno whispered. Assembly ships landed last. Speeches droned. Velez was gone. Patel sealed the last chain. Rim secure. Sensors pinged reinforcements. Coalition core worlds. Desperate. Velez aligned jump. Again. Talir patched in. Assembly commits full. Under you. Checklist, Velez said. Follow tempo. Keth's voice joined. Hammer ready. Marines roared. Anvil gleamed. Galaxy thawed. Humans led the melt.